My coaching business really took off when I embraced high-ticket coaching packages and high-ticket sales. Once I did that, I started to understand why someone would want to spend more. The 5 things to keep in mind if you are really trying to get into high-ticket sales. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm an online full-time certified 7-figure life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And I talk a lot about how my coaching business really took off when I embraced high-ticket coaching packages and high-ticket sales. So when I was first getting started, I really got my start in low-ticket products, low-ticket courses, ebooks, etc. And then when I transitioned into actual coaching programs, I was initially charging like $500 for one-on-one coaching sessions. Then I tried to bump it up to $1,500 and I was having a lot of trouble selling it. And I was like, oh, people don't have the money. This is too expensive. No one's gonna pay for this. And it wasn't until I learned a lot of the concepts that I'm gonna be talking to you about in this video that my sales really exploded and I was able to sell a program that I formerly couldn't sell for $1,500. I was able to sell it for $3,500, then $5,000. And I have since gone on to sell coaching packages from $10,000, $12,000, $18,000, $22,000 to as high as $36,000 for coaching. So I've sold it all around, everything. And even now I have a done for you offer, which, far exceeds that because there is a retainer involved in that, plus a bit of commission, but clients could pay up to 6 figures over the course of a year for working with us. So I am now very much familiar with high ticket sales. I've sold low, I've sold high, and I know what it really takes. And so in this video, I really want to cover the 5 things to keep in mind if you are really trying to get into high ticket sales. So with that, let's get into it. All right, the first thing you have to understand when it comes to high ticket sales is that price actually isn't the main thing. And I know that sounds crazy, but for many of us, price is the main thing. Maybe we are saving up money, we're not satisfied with what we're making in our corporate job, which is why we want to do online entrepreneurship and why we want to do coaching. And so we can be in a mindset that because we are in a particular financial space, or we are in a particular saving money and kind of holding on to every dollar, that everyone that we encounter is in the same frame of mind, but that is actually not the case. And the crazy thing is when you shift from mass market to more higher ticket sales, the buyers know that whatever it is that they're looking for costs more, and they're prepared to pay that because price isn't the primary consideration. They're actually considering other things. And this is not just in the world of coaching, but this is in high ticket sales in general, whether you are selling enterprise software at a corporation or we even think about high-end cars and vehicles, right? It's never the price per se, right? Price is a consideration, but it's not the main consideration. And that's really a personal mindset shift that you are gonna have to make as the seller of your coaching programs. Now, eventually you will grow your business to a place where maybe you'll have an entire sales team who can handle the sales for you. But when you're first getting started, you're gonna want to be the one that's on those discovery calls, that is interfacing with your potential clients, and that is doing the sales over the phone. And so it's so important that you get your own money mindset together. One thing I like to tell my clients is stay out of your pocket, right? We don't sell from our pocket, right? Our clients are ultimately going to pay for our services via theirs, right? Via their own pocket. And so it's really important for you to understand that you actually don't know what's going on in someone's financial situation or what they are considering or, what is the primary value for them. In fact, there's a few things that I have found that high ticket buyers value, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But again, if they're coming to you, price always isn't the main consideration. So for you as the coach want to get out of always making price the main consideration because it's very difficult to get out of that frame of reference when you're selling if that is the case for you. So I had to learn to invest not only in my own business, but just in things in general, right? Prioritizing maybe upgrading an airline flight or taking advantage of an upgrade at a hotel or something, paying a little extra for the fast pass at Disney World, right? To go to the front of the line. Like I started to train myself to, spend the extra money. Everything doesn't need to be penny pinching. Everything doesn't need to be the lowest price. Like spend the extra money, get the extra value, see how it makes you feel, and really appreciate the value you got for spending extra money. Once I did that, I started to understand why someone would want to spend more versus always wanting to spend less. And I was able to communicate at that level when I was then doing my own sales calls and speaking with those prospects. So you'll first want to get out of that mindset yourself, again, because we sell from the place that we're in, and it's hard to sell something that we don't believe in or that we, or from a place that we're not coming from. But from there, once you have truly owned the fact that price isn't the main consideration, you'll want to understand what the main considerations are. And so when it comes to high ticket sales and high ticket buyers, there's two main things that they are looking for, right? So if price isn't the main consideration, what is the main consideration? Well, the first of the considerations that your high ticket buyer is really going to be looking for is speed. Yes, you'll find that there's almost like an inverse relationship with saving money and speed, right? If you want to save money, oftentimes it's going to take you longer. But if you want to do something faster, oftentimes it's going to cost you more money. This is just like basic economics, right? You take 12th grade economics or you study it in college, you're going to see this kind of inverse relationship happening, and buyers on an intuitive level understand that. And so you'll find that high ticket buyers are often in the market for higher priced programs, higher price, whatever, because they are looking for a faster result. They're looking to get to the result faster. They're coming to you because they're like, you know what? I don't want to spend, 3 years figuring this out on my own or 10 years figuring this out on my own. If I could work with you for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 4 months, even a year, if that's how long it takes. But if it's significantly faster than how long it would take them to get those results on their own, oftentimes they're willing to spend more, because in a weird way, spending more to get to the result faster can kind of be like spending less, right? Because think about it, if you save the money and you try to do it yourself, but it takes you 10 years to do it, right? I know this is the case for my business coaching clients to come with me. Oftentimes they're like, yeah, I could have spent 10 years trying to figure this out on my own, but I would have had to wait 10 years to make the money I can make now if I learn from you right now, right? So they're spending money now, but then they get the result faster and they're able to get a return on that result for a longer time. So this works this way, not just in business, but with relationship coaching or health coaching, right? Maybe someone can figure out, how to overcome their health challenges in 5 to 10 years, but who wants to wait that long, right? What if the situation gets worse? Oftentimes, they don't want to save money because they want to save time, and they're willing to spend the money now so that they can have the time later. So keep that in mind. All right, so if speed is the first consideration that your high ticket buyer is often looking for, safety, sometimes I call this certainty, is often the next consideration that the high ticket buyer is looking for. So in other words, people will spend more for a sure thing, right? They will spend more if they're more likely to get the result. So whether we call it safety, meaning they feel safe in your coaching program, they feel like, you know what, I like how you have worked things out. Yes, there's other coaches that are charging less, but maybe the way that they've structured the program, it's less likely that I'm going to get the result. This is also why testimonials are very important and why you want to always be collecting those, because again, it creates an environment of safety and certainty for your potential client who is looking at you and saying, you know what, you've worked with other people and have helped them get this result. I feel more certain working with you, right? It feels like a safer bet, a safer investment if I invest with you versus someone else. So people are often willing to pay more to have the safety and certainty of getting the end result versus saving money, right? We even see this in like everyday grocery brands, right? I don't know about you, but maybe you've been traveling or you've gone to a grocery store in a different neighborhood that you're not familiar with, and you're looking at the brands, and maybe you're looking at ketchup or something, and there's like no name ketchup, and even though it's $1 cheaper than Heinz, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna spend $1 for the Heinz because I'm certain that I love me some Heinz ketchup on my french fries, right? Heinz is good, right? I'm definitely a Heinz fan, right? I don't want the generic ketchup because I don't know, like, what if this is nasty? What if it's runny and watery? What if I squirt it out and I get a bunch of water all over my fries before even the ketchup comes out? Again, it sounds silly and that's a very small example, but oftentimes in our day-to-day, we spend more for the certainty of knowing what that brand is going to provide, right? Whether it's athletic gear or, even again, automobile cars, clothing, like we go with sure things because we want the result more than we want to actually, save a little bit. And so your clients are the same way. They would rather pay you more if you can demonstrate then through your coaching program, through your marketing, through your testimonials, that you have a level of certainty, there's a level of safety in working with you that they might not get with someone else. They're often willing to pay more in order to do that. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. Are you selling a high ticket program? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing you have to keep in mind with high ticket sales, and this is like a tough one, but I find that no one says it, so that's why I say it, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, because there's a lot of people who spend a lot of money trying to figure this out and they can't figure out what's wrong because no one ever told them this. But when it comes to high ticket sales, you have to ask yourself, are you the package you're selling as much as the package you're selling is the package, right? And so what I mean by that is, do you present like someone who is actually selling a high quality, high value program or offer? Because when we talk about high ticket, understand that the price is correlated with the value. So it's not just, oh, we're slapping a high price on something. It's that, no, we are selling a high value program. But do you present yourself as a high value person, right? In your marketing, is your marketing very like slapdash and your graphics are kind of janky and everything looks very like DIY and it's not professional and polished? How do you show up on your discovery calls? Are you taking your discovery calls in the car, on Zoom on your phone, and you're holding the phone and it's shaky and there's like all this stuff in the background, or your kids running around in the background while you're taking your discovery calls? I mean, these are like subconscious or even not so subconscious things that your prospects are taking into mind. When you are saying, you're selling this $10,000, coaching program, but you're in the car taking the discovery call, or, you're in your bedroom and your bed's not made and the background looks crazy. Again, the presentation, do you come off like someone who is in alignment with the package that you are actually selling? So you wanna make sure that you are actually, high ticket presentation. And that doesn't mean that you have to wear designer clothes or anything like that, but you should be polished, you should be professional, your brand should be on point, and it should look like this high ticket package is coming from you. All right, the next thing you'll want to keep in mind when it comes to high ticket sales is that you have to learn the language at the level that you want to sell at. I'll say that again. You've got to learn the language of the level that you are trying to sell at. There is a way that the people who are in the high end of your market communicate versus those who are in the low end. And there are certain things that are attractive to them and certain things that are not. I've already given you a hint when I said that price isn't the main consideration, but speed is, right? You will find that oftentimes very successful business people, entrepreneurs, wealthy people, oftentimes they'll speak in terms of time or like value of their time. You don't hear them talk a lot around like, the cost of something, right? Or, well, I'm saving money on this little thing, because they prioritize their time more than they do the money, because they know that time is a limited resource. And if they have more time, they can always make more money, but it's not always the other way around. And so again, that's just a one example. Your market might be different, but you might want to start paying attention to, again, what are the things that your target market who are at the higher end of your market prioritize, what's the language that they use, and make sure that you are reflecting that language in your marketing and in your branding in order to attract them into your program. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you're like, oh my goodness, I really want to start attracting higher end buyers, make high ticket sales for my coaching program, then you need to come on in to my CLS Certification Program. This is an extremely comprehensive program where not only will we teach you how to coach at a very high level, we'll certify you in our accredited program. It's accredited by a third-party provider, but we will show you how to come up with your own coaching methodology, and we will even show you how to package it in a high ticket way, and then we will show you how to brand it and truly how to create a brand in the coaching industry where you will become the next big thing in your niche. And so if you are interested in that, you can click the link below in order to apply. And if accepted, you'll be invited to a call with our enrollment coordinators who will tell you all about the program. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure that you are following me on my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you're also following me on both Instagram and TikTok. It's CourtneyLSanders on both platforms. Go ahead and give me a follow on whichever platform you prefer, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.